Welcome to the For Your Thoughts podcast with Penny and Nassie, where psychology, pop culture, and self meet. La Roach said that you bitches need to start gatekeeping and stop telling everyone where to get everything. And I can only agree. I like 1,000 gajillion% agree.
One thing that you girls need to start doing is gatekeeping again. You bitches be telling everything like, oh, this is here, it's in Japan, it's so cheap, blah, 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 blah. Girl, and then you get to Japan and the shit ain't cheap no more. Start gatekeeping. Everything ain't for everybody.
I've been thinking about this for a very, very long time. And one of my favorite creators, Kennedy, she always is actively talking about this. People will always ask Kennedy, like, where does she get her, like, an outfit from, or like her favorite, even it could be like a beauty product or whatever it is. And sometimes she's like, I actually want to keep that for and to myself, because I don't need all y'all walking around looking, talking, sounding like me. Like, I want to be me. I've always been fascinated by individuality, by taste, by like who people are, how their experiences have created who they are, their style, their taste, even like where someone is from and how you can tell that just based off their swag, how they walk, how they talk. And I think that's why this conversation about gatekeeping like hits me so hard, and why I was like, yes, somebody say it, someone say that they're going to listen to. It's not just about being stingy about information. It's a deeper conversation about discovery and intention and walking your own walk and talking your own talk. Like, when you have access to everything, like, you lose that aspect of having to find things out for yourself. It's crazy. Like, when everything is accessible, it does not automatically make people more stylish or more thoughtful or more original. It just makes everyone just easier to copy. Like, it's just easy to copy and just go be like, okay, I want to look like this. Let me go see how to look exactly like this. I can find exactly where to buy it, how much it costs, how to put it together. It's kind of crazy, and it's deeper than fashion. I think a part of the reason why like life feels so flat sometimes, especially in this age, is because we have so much access to everything and we don't have enough discovery. We even have access to the language, to the reference, to the right take from this like intellectual, your favorite creator, and you don't even know where that take came from or how she arrived there. So it might not even be fitting for you, and everything is right there. Everything is handed to us, and we skip the part of what makes things personal, what makes life personal. We skip the research, we skip the curiosity, we skip the random conversation that leads us to something. We skip the little mistake that helped us develop our taste. Back in the day, you had to try clothes on and be ugly. Like, you had to be ugly to get cute, and that develops character. You had to try different things to know that that's not what you want to do and that doesn't work for you, and mix and mingle and put the things together for you. We, of course, have always been inspired. We've had our Tumblr mood boards. We've had different things like that, but the access now is like on a different level. And there's like a difference between buying the viral dress because everyone liked it and the link was right there and easy to just boop, boop, Apple Pay, think, got it, and walking through Soho or walking into a vintage store and coming across a dress that you're like, this is perfect for tonight, or this is going to be perfect for my trip, and no one else has it, and you've been a walk in, everyone's going to be like, damn, like, who is that? Like, we need more of that. Yeah, we all are looking the same. I'm in this too. That's why I started to really like dive into it, because I'm like, wait a second, I don't want to be like y'all. I don't. There is a big difference between repeating a take you saw online and arriving at a belief because you lived through something, because you questioned yourself, you prayed about it, you journaled about it, you talked shit with your girlfriends about it 1,000,001 times, and then you finally came to your own core belief on a topic and let it come from your mind and your body and your soul. You know what I mean? Like, there is a difference between consuming culture and having like a relationship with culture. And I feel like access just is giving us way too much convenience, and it's not changing anytime soon, but we need to just be more cautious and aware and wake up a little bit. In sociology, collective consciousness is basically the shared beliefs, values, fears, and ideas that shape how a group of people move through the world. So we used to have different collective consciousnesses, like in different regions. Like in the South, you're kind of acting in a certain way versus the North, the West Coast, etc. But now we are all swimming in one big pool of collective consciousness, at least depending on what side of the internet that you're on. And that makes shit even crazier because they can place us, now I'm putting my tinfoil hat on, they can place us in whatever collective consciousness that we want to be in. So if you're over here with the beautiful, successful Black woman on Twitter, we're all going to be in that one collective consciousness. If you're over there with the Alex Earls, like y'all are going to be on one wave of consciousness. We might cross paths here and there, but our FYP is going to serve us the same thing it's serving us, and that is shaping our minds more than we are aware of. So much of what we're calling culture and so much of what is shaping our thoughts and opinions and our takes are based by the algorithm. They're based by ads, their trauma responses, and people who are getting paid to make things feel aspirational or getting paid to rile us all up. What happens when like the loudest, most fastest, and most viral thought becomes like the collective thought that we all live under, when maybe that's not really what I think for real? Like maybe it's just not. And like what happens when the algorithm becomes your tastemaker, your therapist, your stylist, your dating coach, your moral compass? The algorithm in Donald Trump's world, that's what you want to guide you? I think not. We should definitely share things. Like there's so much positive that has came from the internet and being able to access this information. There's two sides to it, because sometimes you are blocked from information because you don't have access. But then sometimes it's like we need to have some sense of discovery. And I feel like gatekeeping is not about keeping people out. It's more so about protecting that discovery and that magic that I feel like is what makes life beautiful and what we should all do for ourselves. That's where your taste is going to be built. That is where discernment is built. That is where your identity is built. And without that discovery, everyone becomes a template and like a walking soundbite. Like I tweeted that the other day. I'm like, why does everybody like feel like a walking soundbite and a copy of a copy? Like, boo, tomato, this shit stinks. What a drag. This is not the life I signed up for. I didn't sign up for this life. My mom willingly did this, but what a drag. And this is where I think influencer culture has really blurred the lines, and I'm not anti-influencer culture at all. I am an influencer at that, so I cannot be. But we're confusing billboards for mood boards. A lot of these people are not inspiring us. They are just selling something to us, whether that's an idea, a thought, a actual product. And like somewhere along the way, we started confusing their visibility with taste. Like visibility and taste are not the same thing. And we need to have discernment to clock it. Life feels so much richer when you have a true relationship with the things that you claim to love and like. And not because some influencer sold it to you, and not because of what the internet told you is cool and what's not cool. And the same thing is happening with our thoughts. We're all consuming the same conversations at the same time, the same viral clips, the same relationship takes, the same celebrity breakups and scandals. And that brings me to Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. And this is my gold topic of the week. Megan, H-Town Hottie. She is gold of the week. But I don't think people are just only reacting to them. I think a lot of Black women are reacting to a much bigger wound. And the feeling of being beautiful, successful, rich, talented, Black, and still being mishandled is insane for all of us. And it's just there's an exhaustion around loyalty. There's frustration around monogamy because supposedly men can't be that, or not all men, because let's not do that, but that's what the girls are saying. And the feeling that Black women are always expected to be strong, forgiving, understanding, and graceful, even when we are embarrassed or disappointed. So people are tired. I understand the collective frustration, but then I always have to ask myself, like, what part about the way that I'm thinking about this or reacting to this is like wisdom, and what part of it is just like my wound. I don't want to be discipled by disappointment. I don't want to, and I will not believe that men ain't shit. I just won't believe that. We know that they aren't. But I'm going to find mine that is. And I have family and brothers that are. And they need to hold their brothers accountable for this craziness that we're seeing over and over and over again. I don't want the internet to train me out of my personal softness. I don't want every public example of betrayal to become like another brick of a wall that I put up and that I didn't consciously choose to build. Because when that happened, I was really like, hold up, let me hold on, because what do you actually mean? Why time and time again do we see this happen? And you're like, well, it can happen to me, but I don't want to consciously build that way of thinking and move in the world that way, because the law of attraction, the mind is everything, what you think you become. And that collective consciousness of believing that I'm never going to get a man that's going to love me and be loyal to me and want to be monogamous, like, I'm not going to say that or put that out, because that's not happening to me. And I don't think that we should say that about ourselves at all, while still being aware that this is happening. And yeah, that's not mean I'm being naive. I can be a very naive, in the clouds, whimsy ass person, but it's just about just being discerning and taking control over my thoughts and like my own life, because sometimes what looks like wisdom is just a wound with like really good PR. And I can validate the collective without making it my entire worldview. I can believe Black women deserve better without deciding that love is impossible. I can believe in monogamy while also admitting that it's not for everybody. And some people are just not being honest about whether they are capable of monogamy or not. And that's the conversation that's opening up too. Shout out to Horrible Decisions Now, Mandy and Wheezy, that talk about that a lot. And the collective can, like I said, give us language, validation, and community. But if we're not careful, it can also flatten our individuality. It can outsource our discernment and turn our wounds into identities. And what, all this therapy for that to happen? Hell no. No. So happy and proud to be a millennial, because I was able to be me before the internet, and no one can ever take that away from me, as much as they might try. Especially, I feel like being on the internet and not having a bunch of followers and things like that, it's like you are prone to maybe, let me try to do what the girls are doing so I can get followers, so I can get to the bag. Like, I want to be me. I don't want to be a template. I don't want to be a walking soundbite. I don't want to be a caricature of everyone that I follow, an aesthetic that I downloaded. I'm not a copy of a copy. I am Penny Anassi. Been that, still that, will forever be that. And I feel like it's just getting harder and harder for all of us to do that. And even if you're not doing that, I know that y'all can be just exhausted by the on-running conversations. Like, they're fun. They are a part of our culture and our worlds, but let's be discerning. That's what I have to say about this. I think we're going to end it there. I think that some things need to be lived, some things need to be discovered, some things need to remain yours long enough for you to just actually become yourself. And that's just what I want to leave you guys with. We're going to move on to our next topic, which will be peace of mind. And for peace of mind today, it's so basic, and I'm so sorry, not sorry, but I want to talk about all of the ways that we can mentally be better and healthier that we've been told for ages, but just don't do. Number one is starting with eating earlier. This is something that I've been told so many different times, but I just never listened. And finally, I was talking to my cousin. I was like, yeah, like I sleep late and I wake up late. Like that has been happening to me more often now that, especially now that I am making my own schedule. And I'm like, what's really going on? She's like, have you tried just like eating at 5 or 6 p.m.? I've never in my life eaten at 5 or 6 p.m. ever in my entire existence. I eat at like 8, 9, unless it's, and then unless it's like an early dinner, happy hour, girl. But you should be eating around 5, 6, 4 even, because your food needs time to digest before you actually go to sleep. And you're not fully sleeping and getting your full rest if your body is still trying to break down and digest your food. So I've been attempting to eat earlier, and that has been bringing me peace of mind because I go to bed earlier as well. And then lastly, this is an age-old thing, water. They always are like, there's been a lot of funny memes about how like you tell your boyfriend your head hurts, he's like, drink some water. But really, we need to drink our water. And these cups have actually been helping me. This is a simple modern cup. It's not a Stanley, but I have been drinking 2 of these a day and just getting my hydration in. So drink your water. And this just seeing this pink thing just sitting there, I just pick it up. It just makes drinking water just cutesy, makes it an experience. You don't have to drink it through that. You can just get a regular bottle of water. I promise you. But I do want to say, hydrate yourself for the summer, for your skin, for your organs to digest well. And we're going to leave it at that. Love you guys so much. And see you guys next time. Please share, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.